Class of 09, huh? I'm not gonna tell you what it is. You either already know or are resourceful enough to find a Steam page. I quite like the game. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, like, the voice acting sounds overproduced and occasionally ill-fitting for the environment, and the selling point of no clicking to advance text is really silly when 9 out of 10 visual novels released in the past 20 years have an autoplay button, but whatever, that's minor stuff. I enjoyed it. I definitely felt like I was transported back to the past, except instead of being 11 depressed and homeschooled, I got to be 16 depressed and skipping class. Obviously, I'm going to be discussing spoilers for the game, only 3 of the endings and 1 plot thing in any detail, though I'll bring up other scenes and choices for the sake of comparison, but nothing specific. You should probably just play the game first, though. So for some context on the main topic, there's a teacher named Mr. White,
I'm not the street guy, yo,
who turns out was trying to trick main character Nicole into being racist with him.
Do you enjoy being white?
From here, the game has a few different paths. You can get your gal pal Jecka to help him getting him fired, which fails.
Well, I guess racism wins.
With the plotline ending, the story just moves on. When you don't do that, Jecka instead subscribes to Mr. White's, Gab account. Is that still a thing? Anyway, from here you have 2 options. One is to ignore Jecka's new lifestyle choice, leading to the whole school becoming racist. 2 endings spring from this, both ending tragically as Jecka either dies in a school fire caused by literally the Nation of Islam, maybe? How did they get away with that? Or she gets thrown in jail for killing a guy. The other option to take is to make Nicole racist. This immediately gives you an ending where both you and Jecka are jailed for terrorism, so good job. It might surprise you to find a game where you can readily sign up to be a white nationalist, and yeah, that surprised me too, because the only thing I knew about this game before playing it was that Nicole and Jecka looked hot together, and understanding the context of the rest of the game doesn't help either. Throughout the game, you can see that Nicole is a really shitty person through most of the choices you can make as the player. Nicole can either lie, apologize for lying, or be an asshole to someone. Rarely are there choices where Nicole actually expresses her honest opinion. Rather, most options in the game involve her pretending to have an opinion so she can get drugs, or get someone arrested, or get someone killed, or you get the idea. The only other times you can make Nicole express her true feelings on the matter at hand are either apologizing, in which case she's quite literally just trying to end a series of lies and manipulations that went too far, or trying to get horrible teachers fired, which only sometimes works. Even then, when you do decide to make a morally good decision, it's phrased in a way that it's still manipulation for Nicole's benefit. For example, the apology choices are usually phrased like, get out of this mess by fessing up, and not be honest and ask for forgiveness. And when you try to get a bad teacher fired, it's never an attempt to do the right thing. It's usually to get something out of it, like lawsuit settlement money or revenge. The only reason Mr. White getting fired for being racist ever becomes an option is because Jecka brings it up, not Nicole.
Shouldn't we do something?
She even says that she didn't want to get involved.
Ugh, did not want to get this involved.
But even with all that, Nicole can just choose to be racist. There's no immediate beneficial reason behind doing that before you make the choice. She doesn't even ask, unlike in one of the other routes.
What are the benefits?
And there is no benefit after you make it because she goes to jail, so why is this an option? I think it'd be easy to say because Nicole is a sociopath, like it's on the Steam page, but I think that's a bit disingenuous. The game is a little deeper than Nicole bad, crazy, I know. Maybe the edgy teenage dialogue and comedy mask the subtlety, but becoming a racist isn't solely there as a joke. And I feel like nothing in the game is. Even the seemingly goofy random shit like Jeffrey talking about jerking off to anime isn't just a joke. Okay, I know that sounds a little pretentious. Maybe I'll have to make a video about that too, but anyway, I lost track of where I was going. Where was I? Oh, right, the racism thing. Well, there's multiple ways of interpreting this choice in a meaningful way. One could be that younger people tend to be targets for extremist recruiting because they buy into it easier than adults. Another interpretation could be that Nicole, as someone that loves to leverage power against others, finds racism to be another method she can do that to more people. Another idea brings us back to the Steam page where it says the choices reveal your personality as the player, not the writers. Which again, I feel like this is kind of a misleading way of putting it, when most of the choices in the game are being evil or slightly less evil. Though it says a lot about a person if they willingly choose this option, especially if they didn't get it by trying to 100% the game like I did, and instead got it because, well, they're racist. So maybe this part of the Steam page isn't totally wrong. Another interpretation, one that makes the most sense to me, is that she did it to not lose her friend Jecka. In the game over you get for being racist, she says she dabbled in racism to be friendly, which, I wouldn't call that dabbling. She doesn't say who she was being friendly for, but it's obvious it's Jecka, like that's who she was talking to in the first place. It may seem like an extreme situation to put yourself in just to be nice to one friend, especially for Nicole when it's established she's mean to everyone, including Jecka at times.
What kind of friend are you?
I've known you for like a week.
But there's one reason why it makes sense Nicole would end up there. You can read this choice not as time to become racist, but instead time to support my friend Jecka by being racist. I wonder if you've noticed the pattern. You don't try to get Mr. White fired to do an anti-racist thing, you do it because Jecka wants you to. In the same vein, you don't sign up for Mr. White's clan to do the racist thing, you do it because Jecka wants you to. Throughout the game, you can occasionally choose to be friendly, but it's usually phrased as pretending to be friendly, but whenever Jecka is involved, it's never so rude. Nicole is just plain nice to Jecka in these choices, whether she's a raging white nationalist or actively anti-racist, which is either some extreme apathy or true love. I know which one I'm siding with.
What's gayer? Dating a girl or wanting a girl to have sex with your dead body?
The reason this is the most interesting choice in the game to me is that it reveals a lot about the setting, the characters, and the kind of person you have to be to choose it. The setting in that it reveals there's an ingrained racism problem in American schools, a problem that has not been solved in real life or in the game. The characters in that, you learn why these people would sign up for this kind of thing versus fighting against it in another route. And the player in that, you'd have to either be gunning for 100% completion or willing to be racist in a video game. For pussy. Racist pussy.